Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back now with Kevin Richardson talking about his company, of course, OT Therapy Services. It's all about hypnosis, and he's here to talk about his company and his services. And in the meantime, I want to welcome you. Great to see you here live in person on our Zoom, besides the podcast.
Thank you so much for letting me come and join you today. What a wonderful day to be alive.
It really is. It's a beautiful fall day here in New York. How's the weather? You're in California?
Oh, beautiful blue skies. We're going to be up in the 80s.
Oh, can't beat that. No, you really can't, Kevin. Kevin, for new listeners today, would you mind introducing yourself and your company to everyone?
Hi, my name's Kevin Richardson, and I am a master hypnotist, soon to be a hypnotherapist.
Oh, congratulations.
My residency. So I will be graduating shortly, but I'm just now in my residency. But we're able to offer hypnotherapy services to the world, to everybody.
Great.
And, what are some things, people ask, well, how can hypnosis help me?
Yeah.
Well, there are 145 areas that have been researched and have been shown to help. So what are some of those areas? Great question.
Yep.
Fears.
Mm-hmm.
Fears. Oh,
like fears of like phobias, like spiders and like the dark. And I mean, let's talk about the different types of fears that you can help people with.
Fears of flying. Oh my gosh, how many people get on an airplane and they sweat and they're perspiring and they're like crying because they just don't want to fly. Fear of spiders.
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between a fear and a phobia.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Well, neither did I until I went to school. A fear is where there is a very specific event from which you've received a trauma.
Okay.
You can look back and say, at this moment is when I became afraid. Now, a phobia, we don't know when the onset was. It just happened. So how we work with people with fears and phobias are different. So we use two different techniques with that. Now, anger management. Oh my gosh. How many people get sent to anger management class?
Mm-hmm. I've heard about that. Yep.
We can help with that.
All right, great.
We can help you learn how to manage your anger through hypnosis.
So when you first start working together with someone, you really identify the issues that they want to improve, right? And then you go through the treatment option that would be best. So I got your notes here in front of me. The station did send them. You say there's a variety of approaches that you use that are tailored to specific needs. So
yes.
How does, you say it's a focused concentration where you're in a deep, relaxed state. Can you explain that and how it really does work?
Well, I use the Dr. Capasonian method, and he taught the method of the theory of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating theory. When we're born with a primitive mind. And at that point, we have our basic reflexes, our basic responses. Then as we grow and develop, as children, we're using more of our subconscious mind and we're learning. We're like a big sponge and we're just learning everything. Then around 8 or 9, that's when we develop our critical mind, our critical thinking.
Okay.
So then we become into the conscious. And so that's where we are more discriminating.
Mm-hmm.
So what hypnosis does is that what we look at is we talk with the person during our first interview, and we identify the ways that they respond and how they respond to the environment. Then we go into a guided relaxation process and we open the door to the subconscious. Now, the subconscious is where all the pluses and minuses, the things that we're afraid of, the fears, the phobias, the things that we like, the things that we don't like. I just remember President Bush, always saying, I do not like broccoli. Well, that's a minus. That's from it, it's no longer in the subconscious. But we don't really know why we have the pluses and the minuses. However, with hypnosis, we're able to go into the subconscious and we're able to change the minuses into pluses. Now, what's that? Things that we don't know, and we turn them into knowns.
Okay.
We turn them into things that we become attracted to rather than things that we avert from. That's how we're able to help with fears, where we avert from a spider, where we avert from airplanes. However, through hypnosis, we're able to turn that into a plus, something that we're drawn to.
Got it.
So it's a process. It's done over a series of appointments, and we look at various things. We really, it's a variety of approaches. There's one approach that one of my colleagues uses, and it's called imagery. And it's more where you're thinking of your favorite place, the colors, the sounds, the pictures, things that you're comfortable with, things that you love being around. And then there's the higher self, where in all of us, we have in our subconscious a higher self that's very knowledgeable, and they can guide us. So we just access the higher self. So I know it sounds weird.
No.
It sounds so ooey gooey, but it really does work. It really does work.
Yeah, so you mentioned there's 145 different areas that hypnosis can really show to be effective. You say pain management has over 600 published research articles demonstrating the effectiveness. Could you talk about that? Wow.
Well, Dr. Mark P. Jensen has either authored or been a part of the research project of about 645 articles, and they're published. And they are considered Class A research. In other words, they meet the high standards. And also what he has shown is that through hypnosis, we're able to change the perception of how someone perceives pain. What his premise is that what the pain perception is a mistake that the mind is making in the communication. And so there are 3 areas of the brain that the pain goes to. The first area identifies it as on a scale of 7/10 to give it severity. Then there's the other area that says, oh, this is burning, this is painful, this is stabbing, it's throbbing. And then the third area is the, oh my God, I'm going to die area. And that's the emotional part of it. So through hypnosis, we're able to go in and teach people how to change that message so that that message is no longer a mistake. It doesn't necessarily get rid of the pain. It helps people to change how they interpret that message. And it really works. Oh my gosh, it really works.
How did you discover hypnosis?
How did I discover it?
Yeah.
I had a fear of talking in front of people.
You would never know. Wow. Hypnosis does really work. Look at him go now. Mr. Richardson. Impressive.
Oh, I had such a fear. I'd get up there in front of people and go, I got to go now. Bye. So I went to hypnosis and it changed that. Then I went back to hypnosis for weight loss. That's when I became interested in it. That's when I knew that this was something I wanted to do. through weight loss hypnosis, I was able to change my entire relationship to food. I was able to learn and understand about food and what food is.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned about how much sugar there is in food. There's sugar in practically everything.
Yes, yes.
So, and I had a horrible craving for sugar.
Mm-hmm.
3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be rummaging around for that Snickers bar, tearing up the kitchen, going, I
Yeah.
know there's a chocolate bar in here.
Uh-huh.
And so by learning about my relationship with food and learning about weight loss and learning about how to change my perception of how much food I was eating and portion control, I've lost 25 pounds.
Wow.
And still losing. And
Wow.
no cravings. So with that, that's when I sought out a school. I thought, this is what I want to do. I'm winding down my occupational therapy career. I'm trying to find something else to do. My spouse keeps asking, what are you going to do when you retire? What are you going to do when you retire? I don't know. Well, now I know. Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Wow. And weight loss must be a big thing for a lot of people, right?
It is. It is. I hope the producers of the 600-pound sisters are listening, because I would sure like to help them. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Producers, if you're listening, I can help. And so weight loss is a huge area, but it's also tricky, and you have to do it under the supervision of an MD, of your doctor. Okay. So we look at, we help you. And now I went through England. I was certified to do the hypnosis technique for the gastric banding.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned that technique of how to do the gastric banding through hypnosis. And it works. It really does work. So other areas is like nail biting.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
Bedwetting. What about adults that still bedwet? I mean, my kids are 4 and 6, so that's normal. But I know I was, and my mother, we were like 14, both of us, a little bit later.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's adults that still do it. It happens.
It happens. And so through bedwetting, we use different types of techniques where we're going in and helping their subconscious know when to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What are the signals to wake up? And so we help them learn how to wake up in their sleep.
Got it.
And what the response is. And it does work. It probably takes about up to 10 sessions, maybe. It's hard to say.
Okay.
Everything is so individualized. It goes from individual to individual.
Now, how long has hypnosis even been around for?
Oh, great question. Over 2,000 years.
Wow.
It goes back all the way to the ancient Egyptians. They have found evidence in the hieroglyphs that there was hypnosis even in Egypt, in ancient Egypt.
Amazing.
And if you go into hypnosis every day, you use hypnosis every day.
Explain that. Like when I'm driving sometimes and I get somewhere and I said, how the heck did I just get here? Was I hypnotized?
You were
like I was listening to good music, my thought process, I'm thinking about something, and then all of a sudden I'm like, how did I make it here alive?
That's hypnosis. Welcome to hypnosis.
Wow.
Okay. When you go to sleep at night, just as you're laying down and you're going to sleep, just right before you drop to sleep, you drop into hypnosis. And so every night you use hypnosis. When you drive, you use hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
There's times that if you're watching a movie and you become suspended in time, and it's like, how did 2.5 hours just get away from me?
Yeah.
Hypnosis.
Oh.
Hypnosis is all around us. And we all experience it. So it is really so cool. It is such a cool modality. And I work with so many folks that have such severe chronic pain.
Wow.
The medical field, they're limited as to what they can do. But I'm so shocked and surprised as to how many doctors,
Really,
MDs, and psychologists and psychiatrists are using hypnosis to help their folks.
wow.
There's even recorded evidence of where they used hypnosis for surgery. And the only anesthesia that the person had was hypnosis.
Wow.
There's documented cases where that does happen. There's documented cases where dentists have used hypnosis and no Novocaine or the anesthesia that they use.
Wow.
So there's a lot of good there in hypnosis. So it is just so effective in just so many areas. Overeating, panic attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Panic attacks. How many people have panic attacks? Panic attacks is kind of an imbalance of the pH levels in your bloodstream.
Uh-huh.
It takes about 30 minutes to create the chemicals, and it takes about 30 minutes to reduce them. So there's about an hour there. It's like, oh my gosh, the panic attack is really bad. But through hypnosis, we can help you alleviate that panic attack. We can help stop that. Self-esteem, self-confidence, big areas.
Yeah.
Fears of success. There are people that are such high functioning people, but they're afraid to succeed. And so they self-limit themselves in their careers. So we can help them with that. We can help them move forward in identifying their fear of success and replace that with a moving towards success so that they can reach the level that they really should be at.
Got it.
Stage fright.
Ooh.
Big area out here. Big area out here in Hollywood.
Mhm.
So many of the actors and actresses out here. I have not worked with any, but I've had colleagues that have worked with folks that have stage fright. And so they go to a hypnotist to get over their stage fright.
Wow.
And it does work. Sleeping disorders, insomnia, big area. And so it's helping to educate people, but it's also helping them to learn how to relax and how to go into sleep rather than try to force yourself into sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's changing your perception of it. It's also educating about the sleep hygiene. Now, what's sleep hygiene?
Yeah, I'm thinking, wait, should I be brushing my teeth in my sleep or brushing my hair? Wait, what's that?
What's sleep hygiene? What is that? It's the rituals that we go through before we go to sleep.
Okay.
Okay. It's the rituals that we use to wind down before we go to bed. So it's learning how to stop the mind and learning how to turn down the mind. So many high functioning folks, they wake up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this and this, and this. It's helping them to learn how to write down and make lists so that they can just let it go and they don't have to worry about forgetting it.
Got it.
So we're able to help folks with that. It really does work. I've worked with folks with insomnia, and after about 5 sessions, they said, nope, that's no longer a problem.
What else could you help me fix, Kevin? They're like, hey.
That's not a problem. Not anymore. Smoking is another very big area. Smoking cessation that we can help with. I've worked with colleagues that have had clients that said they quit smoking in 1 session.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a process. So what the theory that we learned is that people aren't addicted to the nicotine, they're addicted to the behaviors that surround the smoking.
Okay.
Having something in their fingers, having something in their mouth. So we teach them how to use the non-dominant hand to smoke. We teach them how to cut the cigarettes in half. We begin to wean them down off of that. If they need a nicotine patch, well, we have the doctor help us with that.
Yeah.
And it does help. It's helping to replace the habit with a new habit and a healthier habit.
And hypnosis is just as effective as us here over Zoom. I mean, in person, and that's amazing.
Yes.
Wow, what a world of openings, and especially I'm sure with the pandemic now, everything is virtual. So has that helped you with clientele? Because you can work with anyone all over the world.
I can help anyone all over the world, just like
Amazing.
you said. Zoom is very effective with hypnosis. I do see clients over Zoom, and it works just as well. So it's no different than being in a recliner in the office or being at your home where you're comfortable in a quiet area.
Got it.
And actually, I have found it's easier for them to go into hypnosis in their own environment because it's an environment that they feel safe. It's an environment that they feel confident in.
Wow.
It's their castle. So they feel safer, they go into hypnosis, and we're able to be effective, just as effective as we were if it was live.
Amazing. Wow.
So it's just incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Wow.
So sexual problems, erectile dysfunction, we can work with that as well. I have not worked with it personally, but I do know of therapists that do work with that. Stuttering. I know of hypnotists that work with stuttering, and it works well. Trauma. Now with the pandemic, how many people are going through trauma? Oh my God, millions throughout the world are going through trauma. Hypnosis can help with that. It can help you through the trauma and help you to process the trauma. Sometimes when people have gone through trauma, it's difficult for them to process that trauma in a good way. So with hypnosis, we can do that. We can help you with that. So I really see the pandemic as something that is an opportunity for us to really reach out and help so many people with their losses, loss of job, loss of relatives, the grief, loss of income, loss of home. We can help people with that in processing that trauma and that grief. Surgical recovery. It's huge. There's been quite a bit of research that has been done with hypnosis and people before they go through surgery. And to help them gain the confidence that when they come out of surgery, they're going to heal much faster. They're not going to have the pain.
Wow.
And when they come out of surgery and they go into recovery, they have found that the recovery is much quicker and less painful. So hypnosis does really help with that. Oh, writer's block.
Yeah.
It can help with writer's block. So that people, when they're trying to write their novel or their book, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. We can help with that. We can go in there and help them remove that writer's block and help them with their creativity.
I'm just curious, how long does it take to become a hypnotherapist?
Great question. Thank you for asking that.
You're welcome.
Awesome question. It depends on the school that you go to. There are many very good schools out there. In my searching, I chose HMI, which is Hypnosis Motivation Institute.
Mm-hmm.
For a hypnotherapist, it's a 720-hour program. It's a 52-week program.
Okay, wow.
Where you go to classes twice a week. You have to view X number of extra credit courses. You have to take like 400 hours of extra credit courses.
Okay.
And you typically graduate after 720 hours. I really have been an overachiever with that. I have over 880 hours.
Wow.
And so I'm pretty close to graduation. I really am.
Congrats. And I apologize. We are just about out of time. I can't believe it. Look at this.
Wow. How did this happen? Oh, I've had so much
you
fun.
hypnotized me. Oh my gosh.
geez.
Kevin Richardson. Wow. Would you mind sharing with everyone how we can reach out to you?
My phone number is 760-902-2274. That is Pacific Daylight Time, 2 hours behind Eastern, or 3 hours behind Eastern, 2 hours behind Central, 1 hour behind Mountain Time. And you can go to my website, kevinrichardsontherapy.com. And Jill, I did look into that, and we got the problem fixed.
Great.
So go ahead and reach out to me. I want 100 phone calls today, folks.
All right.
So
say it again. Perfect.
760-902-2274. Give me a call. Let me help you with your life.
Great. Thank you so much, Kevin. Have a great day. And to all of our viewers and listeners, the same. And of course, reach out to Kevin. Tell him we sent you. And we'll see you next time right here. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.